Hello, my friends. Welcome to this section of my course where we are talking specifically about collateral. What is collateral? This is one of my favorite words. I use it all the time. I actually looked it up in the dictionary before I recorded this video today, and among a few other things, collateral means something of value. So when we think about the job search, what are the things we need that are of value? So for me, those three things are the resume, the cover letter. Yes, we'll get to it. And your LinkedIn page. Very oftentimes people will come to me and say, this job popped up or somebody presented me with an opportunity. I want to apply, but I need to update my resume. I haven't updated it in 5, 10 years. When you're finished this, go update your resume. Your resume should be updated at all times. Your LinkedIn should be updated at all times. Like I said, we'll get to the cover letter, but at the bare minimum, you need to have a cover letter template that is very easy for you to fill in the specifics around the job for which you're applying. But let me not get ahead of myself. Let's focus on the resume piece. 15 years of corporate recruitment. If I had a penny for every resume I've seen, or $1, I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot. And there are certain things that over the years really, really stood out to me and part of a huge reason of why I started my business back in 2020. Resumes are not meant to be a summary of everything you have ever done. And I'll tell you why. No one cares. They're not going to read it. It's going to be too long. It should be a very high level summary, not only of your wins and your accomplishments, but it should be specifically geared towards the job for which you are applying or the types of roles for which you are interested. Unfortunately, in 2024, there is no one size fits all resume. The resume needs to be that reflection. A lot of times, unfortunately, resumes to me have read like job descriptions, and I see words like responsible for, coordinated, assisted, supported. Okay. No, these words, I saw helped on a resume recently for someone who is a VP of marketing. No, we did not help. This is where I like to introduce a little anecdote about my 4-year-old. Well, she's now 5, but when she was 4, she started setting the table. To her, setting the table meant just throwing down a couple forks and some napkins haphazardly and calling it a day. Did she set the table? In her opinion, she did. She didn't do it by herself, but she wasn't concerned about that. To her, she had set the table. When I see people using words like assisted, coordinated, responsible for on a resume, what that says to me is, did you do it? Were you part of it? It tells me nothing about your wins or your accomplishments. And let's face it, that is what a resume is. It is a summary of your wins. It is a showcase of the things that you are proud of. So I want you to take off all of those passive words that mean literally nothing and swap them out for spearheaded, implemented, strategized, executed, drove, led, all of those really powerful action verbs, because those are the words that tell me a story. And I don't care if you are a new graduate or if you are a C-suite executive. There are things in your career, in your volunteer days, in your education days that you have done that you can express using these action verbs. So let's think about that, number one. Number two, the objective statement. No, just no. It tells me literally nothing about you. It tells me what you want to do. Fine, great. But it doesn't tell me why you are a fit for the role. So let's say that you know that you want to be a VP of marketing in an advertising agency in your next role. Rather than writing that as your objective, your summary statement, which we're about to talk about, will reflect what it would take to be that VP of marketing. We are reverse engineering the resume. We are reverse engineering the summary statement, because that is the most effective way to tell your story, to the audience that you want to hear that story. Imagine that I am a recruiter who is going to reach out to you for a job that you are really, really excited about. I'm only going to be able to find you by typing in those words into the search engine that are on your resume. So if you spend 50% of your day doing financial reconciliation and you know you never want to do that again, that doesn't live on your resume. But if you know that leading teams, running a P&L, and driving incredible strategy is something you want to do and you've done, then that gets highlighted. So again, we're thinking of the resume less as a summary of everything you've ever done and more of a summary of an attraction of what you want to be known for and what you want to bring forward. The summary statement, another piece of this little puzzle that I love so much. The summary statement is going to live at the top of your resume as well as in the About Me section in your LinkedIn. The summary statement replaces the objective. How do we write a summary statement? No matter what industry you're in, no matter what level you're in, the way I present this for my clients is starting off by, here's who you are. So, career coach and strategist with deep experience. So, talking about what you've done. Then we segue into notable achievements. This is a place where you use maybe a sentence or two to highlight some of the things you've done in your career that you're really proud of, but things that are relevant and pertinent to what you want to do in your next role. And then third, renowned for. Some people feel weird about the word renowned for. I think it carries a lot of value because if I said to you, you've got to try my chocolate cake. It is literally the best cake you've ever had. But then your best friend says, have you had Jenny's cake? It's incredible. You're going to believe them. You're not going to believe my opinion of myself about myself as much as you're going to believe someone else's take. So if you know that you're a critical thinker and a great team leader, instead of putting that in those words, being able to channel that into renowned for critical thinking, renowned for inspirational team leadership, it's a much more compelling story that makes it a lot more believable to whomever is reading your resume. Numbers. Numbers are so important. If there is anything on your resume that can be quantified, go and do that right now. If you can list out your team size, if you can talk about you increased revenue, you grew profit, you cut the bottom line. Not every job is as easy to quantify as others. So for example, if you're in a sales role, it's very easy to quantify your accomplishments. If you are in a librarian role, for example, maybe not so much. But there are always, always things that you can include that show a tangible outcome of the work you've done, because that is what helps people understand why you are a good fit for the job. And the resume and the LinkedIn are simply there to make it very clear for whoever is looking at your background to understand why you are the right fit. Sticking with the LinkedIn theme, let's talk about your LinkedIn picture. Do you have one? Good. Is it you with somebody cut out of the picture beside you? Is it you with a big hat and some sunglasses on a beach? Great. Go change that. Whether you like social media or not, and it can be very strongly argued that LinkedIn is another arm of social media, it is also a free way for you to brand yourself and your business. You can get endorsements. Again, you put that summary statement up there. You position your resume and your experience in a results-based, achievement-focused way that make people want to stop, look at your background, and potentially hire you for the job for which they want you to be hired for. LinkedIn is magical. If you're someone who doesn't want to post a lot on LinkedIn, fine. But another way to increase your visibility is to go in and comment on other people's posts, reshare someone else's posts. It's a great way to establish yourself as an authority as well in a space. Write a story about, if you're a recent graduate who's looking to get into marketing, Write a story that you can post as an article about the struggles of new grads getting into marketing. Comment on things in that realm. It's very easy, like I said, to position yourself as an authority. LinkedIn, granted, hasn't really been updated very much since its inception, but it is still an incredibly valuable tool. Get endorsements, endorse others, have a very professional picture, have your education included, and do not have an objective statement. Have that summary statement at the top, like we talked about. And third, we're going to talk about cover letters. Love them, hate them. People say to me all the time, do people actually read cover letters? I'll tell you who reads cover letters. Hiring managers read cover letters when they are not 14 pages long. A cover letter, again, is not a summary of everything you've ever done. A cover letter is no more than 1 page, and it is intended to make it, again, very, very clear why you are the right person for the job. Dear Jenny, thank you so much for considering me for the role of communications manager at Qualcomm. Given my background and education, I'm confident I'm a great fit for this role. Please let me share why. Then we mirror the job description. You are looking for someone who has 5 years of leading a team doing X, Y, and Z. During my time at X, Y, and Z, I successfully, and then you fill in the blanks. I like to encourage people to pick out 3 bullets from the resume that they know they can confidently speak to, plug those into the cover letter, and then the last paragraph after those 3 quantifiers should be something along the lines of, in addition to what is laid out in the job description, Qualcomm's mission to X, Y, and Z is something that resonates with me strongly, yada, 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 and I'm confident I would be an exceptional fit for the role. Looking forward to hearing back about next steps. Taking the initiative. Once that cover letter is attached and sent with the resume for a job you're applying for online, now we go back to LinkedIn, see if we can find out who the hiring manager is for the role that we're interested in, and then we reach out to them. But that is a topic for another module. That's it for this one. Thank you so much, guys. See you in the next room.